I don't understand how this is gonna work, but okay.
Hi there, welcome to Loosely Related, the show with a new guest every week and an activity that very distantly pertains to them. I'm your host, Jackson Weddle, and this week we have the wonderful Dr. Kylie Wilson with us. Today we're going to be making some pancake art. Kylie, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
So I'm an assistant professor here at Northwest. I am in my second year, so I've only been here about a year and a half, but I teach on the communication side in the School of Communication and Mass Media, more so geared at fundamentals of oral communication, intercultural, and health communication, as well as an active this semester.
Sounds good. Well, we're very excited to have you here, and let's get down to the challenges. So, you graduated with your PhD from West Virginia University. So our first pancake is we're going to make the logo of West Virginia University and the Northwest Bearcats. So while we're doing that, why don't you tell me a little bit about your time there?
Okay. So West Virginia University is an accelerated program, and so it's 3 years instead of 4 or 5, and I am an overachiever, so I finished it in like 2 years and 10 months, and I don't recommend. But while I was there, I got to work with some of the top tier scholars at West Virginia, but also just top tier scholars in the nation. We had lots of great professors, but that is actually where I fell in love with my teaching. I was never one who wanted to be a professor. Like, this was not ever supposed to be the plan. And here I am now teaching and loving it and enjoying the time with my students, but it's all because I took a class at West Virginia on teaching and how to make that better and be better about it.
So was there anything in particular in the class that stood out to you and you're like, oh, this is why I want to do this?
I had just realized that there was a lot of stuff that I was doing wrong in my teaching that I could easily improve upon if I just took the time and effort, and that class taught me how to write test banks and various teaching methods and things to do in my classes. And so that was one of the things that I was like, had I had this training, a little bit ago, like, this would have been so much easier throughout my entire time at, West Virginia. But I didn't get it until I had almost graduated, so it just seemed I was kind of mad that I had to take the class. But then I took it and I loved it, and the professor was really great, and so we ended up just learning a lot. And he brought, there's a place in West Virginia called Tudor's Biscuit World, and it's the best breakfast sandwiches. So he brought that, or like yogurt or bananas or snacks, like every single day of the class. And I probably shouldn't remember that the most, but it is one thing that I think about a lot, and I really just miss about West Virginia. But really just learning how to be a good teacher and to meet students where they're at, that's kind of what I think I learned the most about, and I'm forever grateful for that experience.
All right, well, I think it's about time to flip our pancakes. I'm realizing mine I might have a little difficulty doing.
Oh yeah.
But let's see how it goes. Oh, mine's ripping. Oh, stop it.
Okay, it's kind of fixed. There you go. I gotta manually fix mine really quick.
They smell really bad for whatever reason.
Mine smells good.
So I've heard that you really like crafting, and I've heard that you're really good at making Christmas sweaters during that season of the year. So our next pancake is going to be a beautiful Christmas sweater. While we do that, why don't you, talk me through some of your favorite things to make?
Okay, so I really like working with resin. That's probably my very favorite that I've been working with lately. Actually, just this weekend, I made a faux bowl of cereal with spackle and resin-coated Fruity Pebbles. and I hung it on my wall. And it's the weirdest thing, and I love it.
Does it make you want to eat it every time you look at it?
Yes, because I love Fruity Pebbles. They're my absolute favorite cereal. And so, you know, I see it and I'm like, oh gosh, I should just have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles right now. But then, you know, I don't. But you said I'm good at making, you know, ugly sweaters. And while that's not wrong, they're never beautiful. Like the last one I just made was Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Oh, that sounds beautiful, gorgeous.
No, not at all. So it was full of like hoof prints and fake grass, and I even made like a sweater that a grandma would wear. Yeah, so then I just like took it outside and ran it through the mud and all of that after. But really anything crafty. I've made lots of signs for my house and you know, random art. And then I made a blanket for my dog, so anything craft-wise, but I would say resin has to be my favorite.
Alrighty, well, I think let's get these going and we'll get them flipped, see how they turn out.
Mine's more like an ugly t-shirt.
Oh, mine just lost an arm.
Oh no!
It's an amputee sweater.
It's just a crop top, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a fashion statement. Which arm was which?
I mean, your crop top doesn't really fit your body right now. It's
No, it's
the
a
wrong
little
way, so I think it'll be okay.
So, we've come to the part of the show with a rapid fire questionnaire. And you'll have 30 seconds on the clock to draw a mystery pancake while answering as many questions as you can. They don't have to be right, they just have to be fast. Are you ready for your mystery item?
Yeah.
30 seconds on the clock. Your mystery item is a bottle of ranch. All right, what is your favorite color?
Orange.
Do you have any siblings?
1.
If you were a cookie, what kind of cookie would you be?
Macadamia nut?
Country or rap?
Rap.
Who is your best friend?
Brenda?
Name an onomatopoeia.
I don't know what that is.
What were you afraid of as a child?
The dark.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Depends on the day.
You're transforming into an animal right now. What do you choose?
A giraffe.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, a dog.
What are their names?
Stanley.
Do you answer the telephone?
No.
Why not?
I'm a millennial.
Fair enough. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
And that is time. Ooh,
So close.
that is technically a bottle of ranch. What's the deal with ranch?
So, you know, Midwestern stereotype, but this one actually holds true. I put it on everything. So, I mean, most people eat it with like pizza or pizza rolls, put it on like sandwiches. But I actually put it in spaghetti, which everybody gives me that look. Everybody's like, oh my God, this is
Head
terrible.
tilt, and they're like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you put the red sauce in that the spaghetti comes with or your favorite pasta sauce. Don't ever use your grandma's sauce. I heard she'll get mad. And then you just kind of put ranch over it and you mix it all in and it kind of turns this orange color and it's just so good. So,
See, I don't know, this might be blasphemous. I don't like ranch in general, like on anything. Do you need the second spatula?
possibly, yes. Oh! Does not look like ranch. Beautiful Midwestern ranch bottle.
Well, Kylie, it's been so much fun having you on the show today, but we've got one last challenge for you. So we're gonna be ending up making Stanley your pet. And while we do that, why don't you tell us maybe your best memories about growing up?
Does it have to be growing up or can I tell a funny story about getting here?
Anything you want.
Perfect, okay. So I had applied to this job and got a call back. They were just like, yeah, we're gonna ask you questions for 45 minutes. I was like, okay, cool. And I had overslept. I lied and said I was having internet issues, and so I had told my boss that, which was fine. He has since found out that I didn't have internet issues. But I told him I had internet issues and I just needed a couple minutes, but really I just overslept because I was working 2 jobs at the time. And so I get ready. I literally just throw on a t-shirt that I would teach in, like a little bit of a dress shirt. So I'm like, okay, whatever, good. They don't want to see a teaching demo, they don't want anything, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm not getting this job, I'm gonna go ahead and be as weird as possible. So I'm acting like my weird normal self, and I get off the call and I just start crying, and I was like, not getting that job, not getting any job, I'm never getting a job. So
the downward spiral.
Yes, yeah. Of course. So I had a baby pool outside because it was an unseasonably warm day in West Virginia in April. So I went and laid out by my baby pool and just cried. And then I, went to work the next day, everything was fine, and Matt Walker calls me. And he's like, hey, we didn't get a chance to talk about salary, we were having such a good conversation, I need to tell you. So he tells me, he's like, this is what I can offer, don't have a lot of wiggle room, but I was like, okay, cool, he's like, are you still interested? And I was like, yeah, I'm still interested. As I'm thinking, but I'm not gonna get this job, so, I'm a close second place. And so he gets off the phone, and then 2 days later, again, I'm still sitting by the baby pool crying because I had just messed this up so badly. So he calls back 2 days later, and he's like, Dr. Wilson, and I was like, hello, because I am expecting him to say, we've passed it on to another candidate, formalities, whatever. And he's like, we'd love to have you. And I was like, you're joking. This isn't real. Stop lying. He's like, no, we'd love to have you. And I was like, no. And he's like, no, you don't want the job. I was like, no, you don't want me. And so we argued about it for a little bit, and then got off the phone, and I was like, I need a couple days, because obviously you take a couple days when accepting a job. So I'm on the phone with him, and I was like, thank you first and foremost for giving me the time to make this decision. And I can just hear him go, he's waiting for that, but I'm not gonna take it. And I was like, if the offer still stands, I'd love to accept it. And he audibly shouted and yelled. I was like, oh my God. He's like, you just made my day, my week. And I was like, oh, mine too, I have a job. And so I did not think I was gonna get here, but here I am. And so that's always a fun one that I like to think about and remember just getting here.
Oh, the ears are too big.
Oh.
Oh.
You sliced Stanley's face?
Stanley's fine. He'll get an eye patch, and all will be well.
At least your Stanley looks like a dog. Mine looks like a cat. But I promise, his ears really are pointed up like that.
Can we flash a picture of Stanley? Well, Kylie, thank you for being on the show today, and I'm really glad that you're happy being a teacher here, because I don't think pancake art is a great profession for either of us.
No, probably not.
But we really want to thank you for being on the show, and make sure to check back next week for a new guest and possibly an even more unhinged activity. This has been Loosely Related with Dr. Kylie Wilson, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching Loosely Related. Make sure to like and subscribe to KNWT for more shows like this, and comment below who you would like to see on the show next.